It is 6 o'clock. I will call the public hearing together for the 2024 first report. That was Dooley, yours.
Okay, so the primary goal of the first report is to improve the management of school district's financial resources. And its objective of the rating system is to assess the quality of our financial management in Texas schools. I think y'all each got a copy of the report. And so I'm gonna go to each indicator and just kind of go through those. So the first one was the complete annual financial report, that the data was submitted to TEA within 30 days, and we did. So we passed that indicator. Indicator 2 was there an unmodified opinion in the annual financial report, and we did get an unmodified opinion. Of course, this all is for 23 because it runs a year behind. So for October 18th, 2023, we received that unmodified opinion. Indicator 3 was the school district in compliance with payment terms of all debt agreements at the end of the fiscal year. We had no instances of default on any of our bond indebtedness. Indicator 4, did the school district make timely payments to TRS, Texas Workforce Commission, IRS, and other government agencies, and all of our payments were made timely. Indicator 5 was the total net position of the governmental activity column in the statement of net position greater than 0, and ours was greater than 0, so we passed that indicator. Indicator 6 was the average change in unassigned and assigned fund balances over 3 years less than a 25% decrease, or did the current year assigned and unassigned fund balance exceed 75 days of operations? We did exceed that. It went down a little from last year, but we still passed that. Indicator 7 was the number of days of cash on hand and current investments in the general fund for the school district sufficient to cover operating expenditures. We earned 10 points. This year, we had enough to cover 106.95 days. Last year, we were at 125, so it dropped a little. Indicator 8 was the measure of current assets to current liability ratio for the school district sufficient to cover short-term debt. This, we received 10 points for this as well. Our ratio was 2.64 compared to last year of 3.12, so it went down a little. And the reason all these are going down is because of our new bond payment, so we have more liabilities than we've had in the past. Indicator 9, did the school district's general fund revenues equal or exceed expenditures? And we passed that as well. Again, it was 106.95 days. Indicator 10 was...
Just for a second, so number 8, on mine it's showing we got 8 points. You said we got 10 points?
Excuse me, we did get 8 points.
So that's where we're short.
That's the 2 points that we lost.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's because we have more liabilities because of the bond.
Yes. Indicator 11 was the ratio of long-term liabilities to total assets for the schools sufficient to support long-term solvency, and our ratio was 0.4521, which earned us 10 points. Again, last year it was like 0.5025. Number 12 was the correlation between future debt requirement and the district's assessed property value. Our district ratio was 1.5, which earned us 10 points. Last year it was 1.95, so again it dropped, even though the property value went up. Was the school district's administrative cost ratio equal to or less than the threshold ratio? Our district's ratio was 0.096, and we had to be lower than 0.1151. So we were fine there. Indicator 14, did the school district not have a 15% decline in student ratio over 3 years? And last year it wasn't evaluated, and this year we didn't decrease in enrollment between 21 and 22 and 23. I have a typo there. We didn't decrease, so we passed that one. Indicator 16 did the comparison of PEIMS data to the information in the school district's annual financial report result in a total variance of less than 3%, and we did not have any errors, differences between those two, so we passed that. Indicator 17 did the external independent audit report. Was it free of any instances of material weaknesses and internal controls over financial reporting and compliance for local, state, and federal funds? We had a clean audit, so we passed that. Indicator 18, did the external independent auditor indicate that the financial statement was free of instances of material non-compliance for grant contracts and the laws related to local, state, and federal funds? We were free of any material non-compliance, so we earned up to 10 points. Indicator 19, did the school district post the required financial information on its website in accordance with the government code, local code, and Texas Education Code, and Texas Administrative Code, and other statute and laws that were in effect at the school district's year end? And we complied, earning 5 points. Indicator 20, did the school board members discuss the district's property value at the board meeting within 120 days before the district adopted its budget? We did, so we passed that indicator. And this new indicator was, did the school district receive an adjusted repayment schedule for more than one fiscal year for an over allocation of foundation school program funds because of financial hardship? We didn't, so it didn't affect us. And then we have to also, we'll go, the next one was where we have to show the expenditures that were paid for Mr. Galloway and all the board members and disclose all of it. And you can see most everything had to do with the conference that y'all attend, and the lodging and meals for that. And so if y'all have any questions on, and again, remember this was for June 2023.
On number 19, where we got 5, what was the maximum we could earn?
5. Yeah, the only one we didn't was the one we dropped 2 points because of the liabilities. Everything else, we hit the max on.
Why would we drop on that? Is that because they started building before you issued the bonds? You had the payables on there? Because if we issue bonds, it goes in our cash, so that should have been more than what our payments were on the construction projects. I don't understand why, unless the timing was that some bills hit before we actually got money from bonds. I don't know what point in time we actually look at that.
We had paid the $2.5 million out before we ever got bond money. So we had more expenses.
So at that time, it was showing those expenses on the project based off, okay, that would make sense from that.
Yeah, that's
okay.
just the price of it.
Because now that we have the bonds issued and that, we shouldn't have that problem. We got,
right.
Our project is under budget, so we should have more assets than we do have liabilities now. Okay. Okay. I can live with that.
Did y'all have any questions on this summary report for the 12 months of what was spent? Then we have to report outside compensation, which we didn't have any for the superintendent. The 0, also gifts received for the executive officers and board members. We didn't have any gifts. And then business transactions between the school district board members, and we didn't have it there either. And then we have to post the superintendent's term contract, which is on the report that you have on the board book. It's attached there. And that will be his current contract.
So there's always a lot of questions about, I think since that rule came into effect, I wasn't superintendent then, but CBISD has always attached the superintendent's contract to the first report.
And what will go online, it will be on there.
Right. So
It's just on PowerPoint.
that comes up every once in a while.
Any questions or comments? All right, well, I'm going to adjourn that meeting. We're going to move over to our regular meeting. With that, if everybody please rise, I ask Linda to give us an invitation.
You'll please bow your head while I pray for us. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time of year, Lord, when we stop and we consider what you've done for us and that you sent your son. We thank you for that gift. I pray, Lord, that we would be mindful of that during our time of busyness and finishing up the semester. I pray, Lord, that you'd be with our teachers and our staff and all of our folks who deal with our kids on the buses and in the lunchrooms. Lord, that you would help us to have patience and to be kind and to guide them in a way that will help them be successful. I thank you for this board and their commitment to doing good things for kids. I pray that we would make good decisions, that we would be wise, and that we would have clarity of thought and understanding. Pray that you'd go with us now and help us to be agreeable even when we don't agree. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Want me to pledge? Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Maybe our first item is recognitions.
All right, Ms. Stowe, I think we have a few 226 awards.
We do. We have 3 226 tonight, all from the junior high, so I'm going to let Ms. Lucerio present. Okay, first up, I would like to recognize Ms. Culpepper. Come on down, Leilani Culpepper. Tonight it is my honor and privilege to stand before you and recognize someone who embodies the very spirit of dedication, passion, and pride in our school community. For those of you who may not know her, may not yet know her, Ms. Leilani Culpepper is nothing short of extraordinary. She never approaches anything half-heartedly. She is a full throttle, 120 miles per hour, detail-driven force of nature who goes above and beyond in everything she undertakes. When Ms. Culpepper says she'll do something, you can rest assured it will not only get done, but will surpass every expectation in ways you never imagined. Ms. Culpepper has rightfully earned the title of Director of First Impressions at West Brazos Junior High. She has taken on the noble task of ensuring that our school exudes warmth, pride, and a sense of belonging from the moment anyone steps onto our campus. Whether you are a past or present student, a parent, a grandparent, or simply a visitor, you cannot help but feel the care and pride that she has infused into every detail in our school environment. Take a moment to notice the banners leading up to our entrance. Ms. Culpepper personally designed, ordered, and even mapped out exactly where she wanted them to be hung and separately signs. All of these bear her creative and thoughtful touch. Her over-the-top decorations for our annual Veterans Day celebration ensure that every veteran who walks through our doors feels not only welcome, but deeply appreciated for their service. These are not mere decorations. They are statements of pride and gratitude crafted with countless hours of effort to be perfected. But Ms. Culpepper's impact doesn't stop with aesthetics. She's a dedicated Texas history teacher for our 7th graders, a mentor to our young leaders as the NJHS sponsor, and an inspirational coach as our cheerleading sponsor. Whether she's guiding the NJHS students to serve with purpose and lead with integrity, or preparing the cheerleaders for performances that energize our school spirit, her passion shines through. Ask anyone who has worked with her, student, teacher, or community member, and the word they'll use to describe her is passionate. Ms. Culpepper's passion is contagious. She inspires everyone around her to bring their best, to pay attention to the details, and to celebrate the pride we all share in our school. She models what it means to carry out your work with heart, to lead with purpose, and to uplift those around you. Her efforts have helped foster a culture of excellence and pride at West Brazos Junior High, and for that, we are profoundly grateful. Ms. Culpepper, we thank you for choosing to be a roustabout. You've instilled in all of us a deeper pride in our school, a stronger connection to our community, and a renewed appreciation for the power of passion and commitment you influence. Your influence reaches far beyond the banners, signs, or the decorations. It's in the way that you inspire each of us to be better, to care more deeply, and to make a lasting impact. Thank you.
It makes me sound way better than I am.
Stop it, that's not true. Ms. Culpepper almost wore her tree today. She was a full tree with presents.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
y'all so much. Thank you.
All right. Next up, I want to honor Miss Candy Aiken. Come on down. It's with great pride and heartfelt appreciation that we gather tonight to honor an extraordinary individual who embodies dedication, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to our student, staff, and community. Ms. Aiken, our special education coordinator, science and class support teacher, behavior, and special education support, and an all-hands-on-deck leader at West Brazos Junior High, has truly earned this moment of recognition. Ms. Aiken is the definition of a problem solver. When a need arises on our campus, she doesn't just address it, she dives in head first, collaborating with all involved, asking the right questions, and working tirelessly to implement effective solutions. Her ability to anticipate challenges and respond with thoughtful, practical action has made her an indispensable part of our team. Whether it's covering a duty, escorting a student, providing a listening ear in a moment of frustration, or creating a safe space for someone in need, Ms. Aiken is always there, ready to step in and support. One of Ms. Aiken's most commendable contributions is her work with the West Brazos Market. She has become a vital source for our community, selflessly donating her time to record demographic information, assist with the intake process, stock shelves, and ensure that families have the resources that they need. Her efforts extend beyond this school day, as she consistently finds ways to make a difference in the lives of our students and their families. On campus, Ms. Aiken's leadership is evident in every corner of her work. She knows which teachers are out, which students need extra support, and how to ensure everything runs smoothly. She's often the last to leave, locking up after basketball games or working late into the night, planning and collaborating to ensure that every student feels supported, heard, and valued. Her belief in the success of special education and her advocacy for students shines through in her actions. She's made it her mission to ensure that every student has access to a quality education and a loving, supportive environment. It goes beyond academics. Whether sitting in for their parents at luncheons when they can't make it, cheering on students at extracurricular activities, or volunteering her time to ensure students have food in their pantries, Ms. Aiken exemplifies what it means to be a roustabout. She's a leader, a mentor, a collaborator, and most importantly, a beacon of hope for so many on our campus. Thank you. Me too. Okay. Good job.
Thank you so much, Kat.
And last but certainly not least is Miss Stephanie Rosa. Come on down. Coach Rosa embodies the very spirit of leadership, action, and campus community. Our history department coordinator, Coach Rosa. Rosa is more than just a coordinator. She's a leader, a motivator, and a true advocate for both students and staff. When she sees something, she says something, and most importantly, she does something about it. From the moment I arrived at WBJH, it became very evident to me that Rosa was someone everyone knew that they could turn to. If there was a concern, an idea, or a gap that needed addressing, Rosa wasn't one to sit back. She stepped up, she listened, and then she started brainstorming solutions. The incredible thing about Rosa's leadership is that it doesn't come with a, here's what you should do. It comes with a, why don't we try this? Her approach is collaborative, supportive, and inspiring. She's step for step with her colleagues as they work towards improvement. For many of us, Rosa is the pulse of the campus. If you want to understand the culture, identify needs, or test the waters of what's really happening, Rosa will give it to you straight. Honest feedback, always transparent, and always professional. And here's the best part. She doesn't stop at identifying the problem. She comes with those solutions, practical ones that foster teamwork and positive change. Her ability to read the campus is unmatched, whether it's planning fun, engaging activities for staff like those legendary underground faculty theme days, or keeping us guessing with her surprises, for which, for the record, I don't know why they keep asking me for my Grinch, so I'm hoping that plays out this week. Rosa knows how to bring joy and energy to WVJH. Her creative ideas not only keep the campus culture thriving, but also strengthen relationships among staff and even with administration. New TEKS, no problem. New instruction, no problem. Assessment obstacles, she's on it. CPPs, community engagement, all things doable. She so shows up, finds a way, and steps up to help others. And when there's a campus event like the West Brazos Market, Rosa isn't just present, she leads. She finds her spot, brings her ever-loyal companion Dash, and represents the true heart of a roustabout. She's also deeply passionate about U.S. history and the importance of teaching our 8th grade students. But more than that, she's truly passionate about each individual student and the positive impact she can make on them in their short time at WVJH as lifelong learners. She sees beyond the textbook and lessons to the people her students will become, and often shares how much it means to her when she runs into former students. And we'll chat about how truly inspiring it is to see their growth and a success. Her care and dedication remind us all of what we do, why we do what we do. Rosa's impact reaches far beyond her role as the history department coordinator. She's a pillar of support through groups like the Cool Kids Club, a teacher support group that has become blessings to many of our staff members. Whether you're a new teacher, a seasoned educator, or somewhere in between, Rosa is there to lift you up, motivate you, and inspire action. In a world where it's easy to spot gaps, but harder to fill them, Rosa stands out. She doesn't wait for someone else to step in. She takes the initiative. She motivates by example, inspires through action, and leads with heart. Her hard work, determination, and immeasurable impact make her a shining example of what it means to be a roustabout.
Thank you, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, yep.
Next is campus communications.
Mr. Coe, are you ready? Who's up first today?
You're going out.
Mr. Galloway.
Hey. All right, so we have our barrel bots, and before we get started, I just want to say thank you to all the CBISD staff, students, and parents that came out to work this event. Out of all of the people who were there to work, there was only 2 people working that were not someone from our community, one being the first LEGO League contest director, and another named Curtis, who was a referee who has been doing this for a long time. Everybody else belonged to the CBISD community, so we're very thankful for that. Here's a few of our teams on the boards, but if you go to the next 2 pictures, these are our students with their awards. So you can just stay on one of the pictures, it doesn't matter. I'm going to read you the awards that our 3 teams got. So BarrelBots 1 is our team that has been in this the longest. BarrelBots 1 got 2nd place for their robot performance, and then 1st place for robot design. BarrelBots 2 got the Peer Award, and this award celebrates a team that is nominated by its peers for expressing core values and gracious professionalism. And then BarrelBots 3 is our newest team. They're our youngest team and has 4th graders on the team and a lot of students that face adversity every day. This team got 1st place in the Core Values Award, and they also got the Engineering Excellence Award. This award celebrates a team with an efficiently designed robot, an innovative project solution that effectively addresses the seasonal challenge, which, by the way, their project that they designed is something that is supposed to go into the sea and take debris out of the sea and filter to keep our waters clean. So they were very excited about that, and Patsy, the contest director, said that they were so knowledgeable about their project, and so that was very exciting for them. And they said that the innovations, which is what that project is, was their favorite part, not even the robotics, the innovations was. so that was super exciting. An innovation project solution that effectively addresses the seasonal challenge and core values are evident in all they do. So that was super exciting for our BarrelBots 3 team. That is the newest team for us and the youngest team. And then BarrelBots 1 and BarrelBots 3 were invited to participate in the Texas East Regional Qualifier for a chance to advance to the Texas State Championship. So in February, 2 of our teams will be moving on. So super excited about that. But we were very proud of how all of our teams did. Out of 17 teams, all of our teams won an award this past weekend. And I have to say, you know, you see these students every day and you see their behavior, but put students in the same school as them, and I might be biased a little, but our students were the most well-behaved, the most well-mannered, and they had the most social skills out of every single student in that school. So they made me very proud this weekend.
That is really neat.
And then prior to that, this past week, our pals hosted their Barrow Holiday Bingo Night. They played holiday music bingo, and they were encouraged to bring a toy for Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots picked up their toys last week, so we were able to donate for that. But we had a huge turnout. If you see, our whole cafeteria was full, and they ran out of bingo cards and had to continue to make more throughout the night. Our school community really shows up anytime we put on any kind of event. They all come out. So it doesn't matter what night of the week, what's going on, they make sure to bring their kids out. So we really appreciate that. So short and sweet this week, but I wanted to highlight those 2 things that went on.
It's nice to see all the family in there coming.
Absolutely.
Several years ago, y'all do something and you see
1 or 2
people, so it's very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. High school, Ms. Bulkini.
Last month we talked about volleyball accolades, so this month we want to talk about the accolades for all of our football players. We had 8 of our players make an honorable mention, 3 on defense and 5 on offense. We had 6 players make second team all-district, 3 defensive players, 2 offensive players, and 1 special team. Next slide is our 9 players that were named first team all-district. We had 4 offensive players and 5 defensive players make all-district. The next slide is very important because it highlights the emphasis we have on our academics. 32 of our football players made academic all-district and 7 made academic all-state, which is quite an accomplishment. And then just individual athletic ability, we've got Braden Gilla made Defensive Player of the Year for District 10 4A, which is quite an accomplishment. So we're very proud of all of the kids that made any team. It's such a large percentage of our team. Is the same thing with volleyball. And just that emphasis on academics, being a student athlete, student first, is very important. So I wanted to stress that. I also want to stress how important our coaching staff is all of this, the gentleman and lady up there are wonderful with our kids, and they were recognized as being named the District 10 4A Staff of the Year. So I want to make sure they receive their accolades too. It's awesome. Then we transitioned to basketball. We opened up the new gym. That's been very, very exciting. We've got the picture in the top left-hand corner, the Columbia Crazies. Mrs. Jones, Willis Johnson, they're trying to put together spirit groups and build student activities, student involvement. And so it's kind of modeled after the Cameron Crazies, which is the Duke student section. And so all the kids, we keep the rally towels, but we hand them out to them in the student section so they can wave the rally towels during the games. Second half, the opposing team has to shoot into the student section, and they're waving those towels. Free throws, they make it hard for them. It's fun to watch the kids get involved in the game. Boys and girls are both undefeated in the new gym, so we're going to keep that rolling. Boys started off, they're shaky, they're 6-9 right now. They start district play tonight right across the way in the new gym, hosting Brazosport. Girls have had a great start to the season. They're 13-3, 2-0 in district. They're at Brazosport tonight, so they're going to get a real challenge tonight. We'll see where they really rank in all of this. So they're getting a lot of accolades, and they deserve it. They're playing hard, they're playing well. So we're in the swing of basketball right now, and then we've got a whole lot coming up next. So it's a busy season coming. We've got boys and girls soccer, boys and girls golf, boys and girls tennis. We've got baseball, softball, and track will be starting soon. So they've all started. This is going to be a busy year, so I wanted to put all that information up there. Let you know, come on out. These are the schedules. I can share those. I'd love to see as many events as we can just to show support for these kids. Like I said, we're trying to get the student involvement up, so we want to get community involvement up as well. So it's going to be a fun spring, but it's going to be busy. Choir last night performed. It was a beautiful beautiful show, and they will be going tomorrow to sing Christmas carols for Rotary. So we're excited to have them do that and show off their vocal skills because they're very talented. Ms. Robinson does a great job with them. And then just wanted to recognize Dylan Harris, ICEV, which is a career and technical education resource that's used to help prepare kids to earn their industry certifications, prepare for the tests. He had 64 kids through ICEV receive certifications, and ICEV themselves wanted to come and give him this. It's a metal placard to put up. We haven't put it anywhere yet. Don't know where we want to put it, but we've got that. They wanted to come recognize him. They said most people do about 20 a year individually, and he had 64. Wow. So they made a special little placard for him, and we wanted to recognize him.
Good job.
Good job.
Good job.
Junior high, Principal Osorio.
All right, so 6th grade ELA turned into Starbucks and trying to apply real life to the classroom, keeping the kids engaged and keeping attendance up and engagement towards the end of, as we clear out the semester. Miss Neal's class turned into a Starbucks coffee where they had hot chocolate and sat around and finished reading their novels and taking their book tests and catching up. So it was good fun. And then in our introduction to agriculture class, they showed their hand in doing their floral design. It smelled absolutely like Christmas in their classroom. It was amazing, and the kids really took a lot of pride and creativity in these designs. So, and it livened up the entire campus. So it's fun to see them around campus. We also had our first robotics competition. We've been blessed to build off of what they laid in the foundation at Barrow. And the robotics competition for WBJH was held at Palacios High School. And they learned all kinds of things and are so excited to move forward and compete after the first of the year. So. And then 52 students placed in our region band from the West Brazos Junior High Band. And as you look across at all of those names, they did very well. We have a very large band at West Brazos Junior High, and they are striving to be the best that they can be, so we're very proud of them. And then just again, connections to the classroom and real life. You can see on the left, learning continues in math. You can see 8th graders are debating on the importance of math in real world, and they had to do their research and then present and debate on why math was important for them in the future and why their education in math in junior high was important. And then they had to give their career on what they were going to use it in and how. So that was fun to watch them debate over that. And then in 6th grade, they had to do a project where they had to plan for 35 people. They had $200, and they theoretically, and they were to do the research and provide all of the documentation on how they were providing dinner, Christmas dinner. And so they got to use a lot of technology and creativity with that. They had to have certain things that they had to meet to give that presentation. And at the bottom, you see our after school extended learning. We have started offering 3 days a week for students to stay after school until 4 o'clock with our introduction to education students as mentors for an opportunity for them to come and get some extra tutoring, get some work done, get it submitted with some extra support. And it's been great for our student leaders and for the students to come to that environment and get some work caught up on.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, what's going to be elementary? Principal Bowles.
All right, I have several slides, but we're going to go through them pretty quickly. The first one is just a highlight that we had our WC Family Christmas night last week, where we did crafts and ornament making before our 3rd grade Christmas program. We even had Santa on hand to take pictures with families and the kids, which they really enjoyed. And I got to read some Christmas bedtime stories as well, one of my favorite things to do. The next slide just highlights that our life skills also got to go and visit with Santa at the Brazoria Chamber of Commerce, which is a fan favorite. Our next slide is just to show you that 3rd grade Christmas program, and I wanted you to see the packed out crowd that's there, a standing room only. It was a big hit, and the parents loved hearing their kids sing their Christmas tunes. The next slide is just to show you the fun we've been having on campus at WCE. You can see our ugly sweater contest winner with her menorah that came to life when she raised her arms. And I don't know if you see to the right the little flamingo that we have. It's from our theme from years ago. And this teacher, Miss Medway, she's our life skills teacher. She's been taking that flamingo and hiding it all over campus all week long in different places, in different costumes, taking pictures, and it's been really fun. And then Miss Irwin and Miss Walters, of course, every year do a pancake breakfast for our staff as well. So I wanted to share that. The next slide shows our wonderful PTO. They really went all out for our staff and provided a great Christmas luncheon for them as well. We so appreciate all they do to support us. And then the next slide is to show we're very proud of our students for our canned food drive. They brought in 608 items to donate to the Methodist Church Food Pantry. And that food pantry has also helped support our Thanksgiving baskets that we do each year at WCE as well. The next slide is something that I felt was very important because I wanted to offer a much deserved thank you to so many organizations that helped our students and families during the holiday season this year. The Knights of Columbus of Brazoria and Columbia United Methodist Church gave 50 Thanksgiving baskets to our families this year. Leah Shackelford every year organizes the whole entire community of West Columbia and coordinates adopting 30 kids from our CIS Angel List, which are students at our school that are in need of Christmas assistance. Mr. Broussard supplied 3 huge bags full of gifts from the Blue Santa program, also for our angels. St. John's Masonic Lodge number 28 adopted 2 families who they took on shopping trips. And Shop with a Cop took 5 families from WEC on a shopping spree as well. Felicia Burgess's and Deanne Ogburn's sorority adopted 3 families from our angel list. St. Mary's adopted an angel family. The Living Room Church donated HEB gift cards to our angel families. And 25 of our angels were also adopted by our very own WCE staff members. So we're very proud of all the things that our staff and community are doing to help our kids. And last but not least, our student council also got involved by adopting and shopping on a budget to sponsor 10 WCE Christmas families. And then they come back to campus and actually wrap all those presents themselves and then deliver it for the CIS parents. So, just wanted to share.
Good deal.
Good job.
Good to hear.
All right, Wild Peach, Principal Kohi.
All right, so this month I wanted to highlight just some of the academics that we have been doing at our campus. So the pictures that are presented are in our STEM class. We have been working on, of course, still the building theme, but they had the Marshmallow Challenge, and that's a picture from every grade level. So every grade level gets to participate, and Mr. Raymond does a phenomenal job scaffolding for the grade levels that are in the classroom. So they had to build a marshmallow tower to see who could have the tallest tower without falling using only marshmallows and toothpicks. It was fun. The picture, top center, the bottom center, and the right, we are trying to have our students just immersed in everything that we can. So we do Gingerbread Man, which is very similar to Flat Stanley, if you're familiar with Flat Stanley. And what we do it at Christmas time because it's opportunity. We tie it to Christmas around the world and our students learning about Christmas. And we've Sweden this week, we've had the Netherlands, Mexico, so all the different places. Students get a gingerbread man that they are able to mail to someone. And they, when they mail it, they send pictures to me, and we post them on our Facebook page of where their gingerbread man has traveled. I chose these pictures because this little girl sent her gingerbread man. She actually mailed it to NASA. And NASA replied. They sent a letter to the class. They sent pictures. If you can see that bottom picture, they actually put the gingerbread man with some of the things in one of the exhibits. So they mailed pictures to the class. They mailed actual photographs to the students in the class of the gingerbread man and other parts of NASA Space Center. So it was pretty neat. It's cool. Yeah, I'm impressed that they did that. Other things I want to highlight is the learning happening in our classroom. So our this is from last week. So even though it's crazy time right now with all the Christmas festivities we have going on at our school, there's still learning taking place. So the top picture on the top right is from our PPCD classroom. So our youngest students we have in our class, they are working on the 5 senses of Christmas. So what they see, what they hear, what they smell, what they touch, and they are making that into a book. And so the students in the picture in the top right are working on, they see the Christmas tree and the bright lights and the twinkling, so they're working on decorating their own tree. Students in the top center, they are working on building words. It's still and the carpet, and they are actually working together. So it looks a little chaotic, but it's because they are working in teams of 2 or 3 to build words. They're working on coding, the vowels, the consonants, and they are working on all the things in that class. The other 3 pictures are from a 1st grade classroom. They read Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree. If you have not read that story, it was my first time to hear it going into this classroom. The book, it talks about sharing in the season of Christmas, and Mr. Willoughby, he gets a Christmas tree that is too tall for his parlor, so he cuts the top off. And then he puts it in the trash can. Well, an animal comes by and finds it. Well, what do you think happens? The animal puts it in their home, and the tree is too tall for their home, so he cuts the top off. So it just talks about the top of the tree getting passed around. So the students are writing about what they would do if they were given a piece of the treetop. And it turned out really nice. I don't know if I had any more. All right, then we had our Milk and Bookies event. Our Milk and Bookies is my first Milk and Bookies. I didn't know what to expect, so the teachers were like, Miss Cohey, where do you want this table? Where'd y'all put it last year? I don't know. How did you have? So it was fun. We did change a lot of things, but it worked beautifully. So Milk and Bookies is our family literacy night in December. Every child that attends gets a free book. We still maintain that this year. It was wonderful. So every student that attends get a free book. This year, because our first fundraiser for the Domino's cards, we're able to fundraise so much. Everybody who came, pizza dinner and hot chocolate. You can see those are our top right are pizza servers, but we also have literacy games taking place. So pre-K, every grade level has a game set up, including our self-contained structured learning classes. They all have games set up that families go around and play a game, and they get a prize after every game. It's quite fun. So they had cup stacking. The picture on the far right, they had to throw a snowball at the letter that they drew from a card stack or the sound they were given. It was such a fun night. And then, of course, I told the students that when you become a principal, you start working for Santa, because that's how Santa knows if you're on the naughty or nice list. And so I had built it up all week, and then Santa came and took a picture with everybody that was in attendance. So it was quite a fun night. So my students, when Santa came that night, I told them, since he's my boss is coming today, and they'll tell you Santa. So it's fun. Oh, and then that's our staff picture of, and not everyone is in it, but for those that came and helped set up, and just the fun we had. It was a great time. But in the Santa.
Yeah, good deal. Thank you so much. Those are neat. Next, we have Citizens Be Heard, and we have Kathleen Woodson has signed up.
Yes.
What's your time?
You can stand there.
I
You
can
come up to the
stand,
podium.
okay.
Just tell us what you need to do.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kathleen Woodson, and this is Clara Bell. And we're here tonight representing the Charlie Brown alumni and mostly the community. And we thought we'd come and maybe we could get some information about the school, if y'all could share anything with us, because we're ready to do something. We're ready to work. So could y'all share anything?
You're not an agenda item tonight, so we can't really talk to you tonight. But Mr. Galloway would be glad to give you share what he has or knows about it. We did approve them 8, 9, 10 years ago, whenever it was, and
Yes.
the board, the district would like to see something, positive come out of that, and we, like to support however we can. So if you could just reach out to Mr. Galloway, he will be glad to share what information we have or what he can to help y'all move forward.
Well, we kind of wanted to know what was the status with the school.
I don't know if Mr. Galloway knows something, I'll let him share. You know,
Okay.
we don't monitor that, but
Okay,
except for what we can, you know, just common knowledge or hear through the streets. The board doesn't actually, you know, go to the state level. But Mr. Galloway may know some more about it.
okay,
So at the end of the day, that it's been deeded to the foundation, to the Charlie Brown Heritage Foundation.
okay,
And so, by law, it's actually the foundation's property right now.
okay.
And so there is no tie back to CBISD. If for some reason the foundation wasn't to exist or something, that property would come back to CBISD. That's in that agreement. And so there are certain guidelines by the state that allow a school district like us to donate the property. And so all of those guidelines were met and it's been deeded. So at the end of the day, it's the foundation's property. We really have no liability or power or anything when it comes to that property or the buildings that are on it.
Okay.
So, you know, our suggestion or our statement would be that you would need to make contact with the foundation
Okay.
to get that information. And again, we do have a business plan that was submitted, that we can share that business plan and, you know, that the foundation brought forward at that time. I'd be happy to share that with you, make sure that you have all the information with that.
Okay, we'll be calling you.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Part of that business plan, they had to establish a charter, they had to establish an organization, has to be a 503C nonprofit.
Yes.
All the things that the federal government, the IRS and the federal law dictates for a 503C. At the time we did it, that was all done correctly and proper
Right.
based off of what we saw on that. Once we turned over them, we don't monitor any longer. Basically, it's the IRS, as long as they fill out the paper.